YouTube, it's Tracy from Entrepreneur Girl, and today is Tracy's Tuesday Tips, and we are going to be talking about what in the heck is going on with Amazon this year. 2016 has seen crazy changes on the Amazon platform, way more than I have ever seen in all the years that I have been selling, and we are going to talk about that today, all of the changes, what you need to know, and what you need to do about it. So anytime you're dealing with the business, you expect changes. We've seen and weathered numerous changes throughout the years with Amazon and Amazon FBA. But here in 2016, the reason why everybody is so freaked out is because the changes have been so many. There have been so many changes, but also they have been big changes, really heavy-handed in changing major policies that really impacted our FBA businesses. And I think it has everyone nervous, and I think people are unsure how to proceed from here. And that is the purpose of today's video, is to kind of calm you down, give you information that you need, and give you some tips on how to move forward from here and how to kind of think and feel about all of these changes. So in Amazon's own words right here, I think that really is the main reason behind everything that we're seeing. And that's basically in a nutshell that even though Amazon has built all these new fulfillment centers, warehouses, they are still at capacity. And the reason for that they're quoting is just the volume. They are #1 e-commerce online site, and the volume of products, the volume of inventory that they have is just greater than, it's just faster than they can grow. So what they're trying to do is analyze this. What can we do? Obviously, they can only build so much so fast. And so they're having to make some internal changes to their policies to try to figure this out. Amazon is being proactive, which is great, and they are creating changes. Okay, one of the first things we saw as a result of them realizing that they were having an inventory issue was the storage fees. So the storage fees had increased at the end of 2015. They also increased again in February and March of 2016. And then they were increasing again here for November and December. Today is November 1st. So we are looking at increases in the schedule now currently. So you need to go onto the website and you need to evaluate these fees so that you are aware of exactly what you're going to be spending. To try to offset that this time round, they have reduced the weight handling fees for November and December just to try to help you out a little bit with that. But these fee schedules change over time, as to be expected. They quoted reasons for increasing the fees at the beginning of the year is just to compensate for the increased shipping fees, kind of cost of living type of things. It takes money to handle customer service and to do the shipping and to do all of that, and they needed to be more reasonable with their rates, and so they had to increase them, which of course makes sense. The problem is that they are increasing them all the time, people feel like, and that's been kind of the first heavy hitter that we're talking about today. Okay, the second thing that is changing today, November 1st, is you are required to have box content information in any boxes that you are sending to the warehouse. Now, this is something that they used to do a long time ago, and then they stopped doing it, which was awesome, and now they're back to it. So if you are sending any boxes in, you need to make sure that you are now complying with this, because they will charge you per item if you don't have that box content. I have another video on doing this, so I won't talk about it here. I'll just link it down below. The next thing that we started to see were messages like this alerting us that we were already at a max inventory allowed for this product. So certain ASIN numbers, certain inventory was not allowed or starting to be restricted to go into Amazon warehouses. And we hadn't really seen this so much, prior to the changes. This ASIN restriction is on our list of big and small changes that we have seen in 2016. Now, I think probably the reason they started restricting certain products is because there were too many of those products in their warehouses, although I don't know for sure. That's kind of my educated guess. The thing that we started to see after that was not only was it certain ASINs, but it was also certain ranked items. And if the item was ranked high, it was a long tail item, it didn't sell fast enough, you would get this new alert on your Amazon app saying that you might want to reconsider putting this in your cart because it just doesn't sell fast enough. The next change that we started to see with Amazon was that the gated categories were just more difficult to access. I had so many emails from people that weren't able, no matter what they did, to get approval in certain categories. Health and beauty was especially difficult this year. But in addition to that, sometimes you had to pay $1,000. Sometimes you had to show receipts from manufacturers. Or like I said, they just wouldn't let you in at all. So the gating approval format definitely saw changes this year. Number 5, also changes within the gated categories that you were already approved for, like DVD and grocery, we're seeing changes. So I had gotten approved in the grocery category before, the restrictions changed, and now other people, were having more difficulty. Where you were able to sell DVDs, you were no longer able to sell DVDs in some instances, and just things were changing across the board within the gated categories. Then number 6, we saw a whole new round of brand restrictions. So even once you got approved for the categories, the brands that you could sell within the categories are seeing new restrictions. Many profitable and popular brands that third-party sellers were able to list, like Nike, Adidas, and Lego, were suddenly and without notice no longer allowed. I posted a list, as complete a list as I could come up with, on the Amazon 360 Facebook group. Just go there, follow this link, and look in the Files tab, and you'll see it there. If you have anything to add to that list, I'd love to know, because I would like, to have all of this free information out there for you. And then number 7, the long-term storage used to be a year. You could have your items in there for 365 days before you saw a long-term storage fee. Well, then they changed that and they made it semi-annual. So twice a year, you would see a long-term storage fee. You can go to the recommended removals report in your Amazon Seller Central and keep an eye on that to make sure that you're not, getting into these fees. Number 8, warehouse shipments to lots of warehouses. When I first started selling, I could list my items, say 40 items, and they would all go to the same warehouse. Then I started seeing they might go to 2 or 3 different warehouses. Now I'm starting to see, 7 different warehouses. It's just crazy how many boxes are going to so many different warehouses. That was a difference that I had noted. Also, once the boxes made it to the warehouse, the check-in times were longer. It used to be just a few days. It was typically around 4 days for me, where they would receive my box, they would have it checked in, and it would be live on the Amazon site. Then I started to tell people 7 days. Don't freak out until it's been a week, and just give them more time to check in your items. Now I'm starting to see upwards of 10 days to get those check-in times. Number 10, Q4 toys and games approval changes. These were the guidelines in 2015. And when you look at everything that it says in 2015, and then you look at the same guides on the Amazon site for 2017, you can see they've definitely gotten more strict with their guidelines for you to be approved to sell in toys and games in Q4. And then number 11, customer review for product changes. That has been huge, and it's one of the newest changes, but they are no longer accepting reviews on products that have had any kind of incentive reviews. So that could be like, I offer someone a product for free or at its counted rate in exchange for an honest review. So this was pretty standard practice with a lot of sellers and is no longer allowed. Also, review groups or review services like Snag Shout, anything like that was no longer utilized. And then number 12, changes to their 2-day free shipping. Now, this was a sneaky one. This didn't affect the Prime members, but they didn't announce it. It just kind of was subtle. It kind of happened. But if you weren't a Prime member on Amazon, that gets unlimited 2-day free shipping, in this instance, it used to be you got free shipping on orders of $25 or greater. Then they changed it that it was still $25 if it was a book order, or it went to, I think it was $49 if it was just, different products. So it almost doubled in order to get the free 2-day shipping, unless you were Prime. And then number 13, the removal order timeframes to send your items back in have changed. Now, what I mean by that is if I had some items that I wanted to have removed and sent back to me, and then I wanted to send them back into the Amazon warehouses at a later date, they're making you wait a lot longer before you can send those items back in. And then the last one, number 14, is newbies can't sell Q4. I had never heard of this happening in the past, but if you hadn't sent in an order before October 10th of this year, then you could not send in any inventory until after January 17th. Okay, so I don't know how you feel about all these changes. I don't know if you're like freaking out or if you're pretty calm and taking it in stride, but I did want to just spend a couple of minutes talking about 5 ways that can kind of hit all of these changes that have just been crazy in 2016. The first way is that you need to go to the source. So here on Amazon, you can find all of the topics that you would ever need to find. You just need to take some time, search and find out exactly what you need to do. It's just a wealth of information that a lot of people don't utilize. So make sure you go to the source and make sure you know what's expected for you, the seller, and for your business. Arm yourself with knowledge actually from Amazon. Don't take my word for it or a blog or someone else's YouTube video. Actually go to the Amazon site and spend some time printing out items, knowing what's going on. Just arm yourself with knowledge from Amazon. Number 2, just don't even dwell on any kind of fear or negativity. It really is part of business that policies change, things change, and you have to adapt. So it is to be expected. I know it was a crazy amount this year. I know some of the changes that they made were huge and have impacted people, in a bigger way. But you do need to take it in stride. You do need to adapt, because the only other option to that is just to close down your Amazon business. And we don't want to do that, because number 3, perspective. Amazon is the largest e-commerce site, and that means high visibility for anything that you're selling. It would take you time, effort, and money that can't even be processed to reach the same level as Amazon, if you ever could, on your own. So really, their rules and regulations and their fees and all of it, I know, can seem like a lot. It could seem like a drag. It can seem like you're being nippled to death and changed to death. But keeping it in perspective, really the return of what you're getting for what you're putting in is still just remarkable. They handle all the customer service. They're handling all the packaging of your products. They're shipping the products. Customer service on Amazon is their top priority. The customers generally are extremely happy using the Amazon site, which means they're extremely happy with you and your business most all the time. So what should you do? Number 4, you need to adjust your business. As long as you continue to be profitable and you continue to hit a higher level of success month after month after month, then you're doing okay. So you just need to take these in stride and adjust your business accordingly. So the long-term fees, for example, I need to be really mindful now. And honestly, I was kind of lazy with the long-term fees because I had a whole year to sell it. And now I have to be more strict with myself, and I have to look on my seller account. I have to set, it up so that I don't incur those fees. Go ahead and send it back to me if it's over $15. Go ahead and destroy it if it's under that. I can look at that removal report, make sure everything is as it should be, and see if I need to do anything. So it does force you, all of these changes really forces you to be a better business and to be a better reseller. And indirectly, that will cause you to be more profitable and to grow more. Last thing you do, number 5, is some of these blocks are specifically geared for FBA. So you might want to consider merchant fulfilled for certain items, and that might be a way to kind of work around some of these. Okay, I hope my computer did not mess this video up too much. I hope I get it out today, because last night on Halloween I decided I am getting a new computer, and I'm looking at the new Macs. So if anybody has any advice for me on computers, please put it down in the comments, because I cannot deal with this computer anymore. It's just driving me crazy this whole year. So it's on its last leg. It's starting to do a lot of funny things. Hopefully this video quality will be okay. Please forgive it. If it's not, I will have it fixed by next week. I hope this video was helpful, guys. If it was, please give it a thumbs up down below. Also, comment and tell me if there were any changes that you are aware of that was not included in this video, because I would like an all-inclusive spot for changes occurring in 2016. Love you guys. I will see you next video. Bye.